Now, after seeing Freeway, I was super excited to check out the sequel. Little did I know that Vinegar Syndrome already had this lined up good to go. So when it dropped, this 4K UHD of Freeway 2 Confessions of a Trickbaby, I eagerly jumped onto it and ordered a copy, hoping for some more of that chaotic, anarchic chaos that came in the first one. And this movie was not as good as the original Freeway. It's missing the cast of Sutherland, of Witherspoon. It's missing that kind of prestige actor, almost slumming it in something that they shouldn't really be in. This time round we get Natasha Lyonne, we even get Vincent Gallo, and a little scene later on which is kind of fun, and some other familiar faces along the way. This story is all about Hansel and Gretel. Now, I managed to deduce that through my knowledge of film and being able to see the thematics in this kind of film.
That's Hansel and Gretel, okay?
Oh, and they just tell you as well. But it's kind of fun. We see these characters of White Girl, played by Natasha Lyonne, and Cyclona, a young 16-year-old serial killer who escape from a penitentiary and go wandering out into the world, heading towards Mexico, looking for safety and the kind of carnage that they cause along the way. Sister Gomez is this larger-than-life character that looms over Cyclona, calls to her in her dreams, is bringing her towards Mexico. And the most part, these characters are just making their way through the world.
Black people unite. The traitorous race mixers in the New World Order rise to descend at the behest of the satanic Jews to destroy.
I say making their way. Like a tornado, they have a destructive path, just causing chaos, killing everyone in Cyclona's way. White Girl is a little bit more conscientious about these kind of things. She does not like the fact that there's all this murder going on and keeps trying to almost rehabilitate Cyclona herself.
I meant like that, because you're a piece of shit. Now shut up.
The movie gets a little bit meandering and a little bit repetitive in these sequences as they are bumbling along. But it really takes a turn once we get to Mexico, and that's where we get the inclusion of Sister Gomez for real, played by Vincent Gallo wonderfully well, and we just get utter carnage, and it becomes really fun and silly and foul and all the kind of traits that made the original Freeway so much fun. It's hard to kind of take this movie on its own because it is a sequel, and I was always referring it back to the original, which I found to be far more enjoyable. But this one is, in its own right, a fun, completely messed up and incredibly unexpected journey. Like I said, I like Leon as White Girl in this one. She's fun, she's interesting, she's not as captivating as Witherspoon, but she drives the story forward as this character who is lost, who is looking for redemption. It's the kind of surrounding characters that draw into chaos or bring her into the chaos later on. We get a lawyer, which is incredibly over the top.
Can't you see that you're your own worst enemy?
I know I fucked up, Mr. Butts.
Oof. Jeremy Butts? Yeah, what's up?
We get John Landis as a judge that sentences her at the start. We get some side character cops who feel very gung-ho, and everything feels almost caricatured, drawn out, and just made to be that little bit more sillier than it had to be.
But fucking right-wing piece of pig shit. Let it go. Come on.
You know, I kind of appreciate that level of silliness that the film has. When it gets to the gore or the grimy sequences or the horrible natures that these people have, it's almost done in a kind of comedic manner. It's very silly and fun, and it's something that Bright does a lot in the movies I've seen of his, where he takes something that is extremely dark and bleak and horrific and somehow manages to turn it into a funny sequence.
Hey, now I could tell everyone I got to see your ass. It's a nice, tight little ass, too.
It happens several times in the film, but I don't want to really waste any of those surprises for you if you're going to check this one out. And I do suggest checking it out. It is a nice companion piece to Freeway, which I always will think is the sort of better of the two by a good distance. But this one is, although not up to that kind of par, it's still fun, it's still interesting, has some nice shots and ideas, and I do like the kind of Hansel and Gretel story as they're kind of making their way towards Mexico, with some fun twists on that tale, so to speak.
You try to rape me, okay?
Definitely worth checking out if you enjoyed Freeway 1. I think it's interesting. I love this kind of twisted crime spin on fairy tales, still keeping that darkness of the grim fairy tales into the story as well. The disc looks terrific. There is some fun extras on here, some interesting additions, and is something I would say, yes, definitely pick up. Freeway 2, Confessions of a Trickbaby, is such an oddball and fun movie. A little bit twisted, a little bit grimy and dirty, a little bit muddled in certain parts as well, which, you know, I can forgive because it has a lot of goodwill built up in the rest of the film. I would love to know your thoughts on Freeway 2. Let me know in the comment box below whether you've seen it. Are you going to check it out? Have you picked up this release? Let me know, because I'm just nosy. There is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff, and in the description box below there are links to the Patreon, the membership program, and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.